So there are certain points which you need to be aware, as for the merge and append also. Just give me a second. Somebody is waiting at the door. Give me a second. Just now he's come. You want to check back in the later time what kind of join that I used it in the merge. You just select the query which you have used the join. For example, I just selected mergement. I just want to know what type of join I used it. Okay. Somehow I forgot it. And if I want to say it, you just select whichever the query that you wanted. And then on the right side, just beneath the applied steps, you can see the source. Okay, I'm talking about the source. Just next to that, you can find the wheel kind of icon here. When you click on this, it will open this one, sales fact, dim product. And we have used these two columns to join these two tables. And then inner join, we just did the inner join, only matching rows. This is the one you need to remember. And good that Satya, you reminded at the end of the session yesterday. Somehow you got dropped here. So we have something called fuzzy matching to perform the merge. Supposing when you join these two, in the case of merge, you need to have the common column between the two tables, right? So here it is a primary key and here it is a foreign key. And but in sometimes what will happen is due to some typo, you have used instead of here, for example, P001, you have used the lower case. Instead of uppercase P, you have used lowercase p. Okay. In that case, what will happen is this P001 is different from this P001 because it is case sensitive. What will happen is to overcome that kind of issue, you can use fuzzy matching to perform the merge. And you have something called similarity threshold, and this is optional. And you just select this one. The selection matches. Supposing you have any, the case and related problem, lower case you used, uppercase used it. So in that kind of situation, when you use fuzzy matching, it will still consider that one also somehow similar to this one. Okay, and it will ignore the case, and then it will still do the join. It will include this one also if you do inner join. Okay, now irrespective of the type of the join, right? The key columns, the values in the key column should match. So P001, yes, P001, but P001 is available here. Here it is available, but instead of capital P, lowercase is there, small P001. So because of which, what will happen is it will not match. This record will not be fetched. So in that kind of situation, see if it is if you have that if you have similar this kind of problem, can go to the we are already in the Power Query editor. You can replace that value. But if you have millions of records, or let's say instead of thinking about millions of records, let's say you have 100,000 records, you need to go and check each and every column. There could be chances you might tend to miss out some values. So how many values you can check it, right? It will take longer time. And in that kind of situation, you use fuzzy matching. So it uses something, Jacquard algorithm. It is a machine learning algorithm using which it finds out the similarity between the values. Okay. And what it does is it will check, okay, this P001 somewhat matches this one, but only difference is the case. Here it is uppercase, here it is lowercase used. In that case, what it does is still it considers this as this value. Okay, you need to enable fuzzy matching. So if you have huge volume of data, like a simple example, 100,000 records, how many records you go and check, especially the key values, right? The key column values. If you have huge volume of records, how many number of records you can go and check it, right? To sift through those kind of things, it will take a lot of time. Instead, you can enable this option. It takes care of it. And click on OK, it does that one. Okay. But since it uses that algorithm, it takes time because it has to compute everything. So that is the one thing. Anyhow, I'm not going to do anything now. I just simply close it. Okay, because to demonstrate how to use that, I have made changes. I just close it. I don't want to apply any changes here. And today's session, we will look at how to create index. And then what we will do is, okay, what is this product? Append one. Okay, this is the classic thing. I will just go here. I just discard the changes. For example, this is the append one, but here the values are not unique, and merge one. So coffee, the values are not unique here. Okay, what I will do is I'll just simply right click on it, and here's something called duplicate and reference. You just take a quick look at the difference between these two. Now, here we have close to 92 records, nothing. It's not huge one. And what I do is I just duplicate it. And then I just I just create reference. So I just duplicated this one here. Whatever the values are there, here you can see it here. Okay, and whatever values you have it here, it is same as your merge one. Okay, what I do is for our understanding, I just give some meaningful name. Merge one underscore. This is duplicate. I rename this one as reference. Okay. Now what I do is I just go and do I have any? If I go and see here, let me just check that we have everything one. Okay, good. So sales amount, cost price, and I just did this one. Okay, I just replace. I do some kind of replace. I replace some values instead of coffee. Instant coffee. I want to replace all the coffee by instant coffee. I just click on it here. All the coffee values got replaced by instant coffee. And if I go and check it in the duplicate, it is not reflecting it here. But when I see here the reference, instant coffee, just a small thing, but you need to understand this one. Okay, here what I did, I just selected reference, that is this one, and this kind of a pointer. Okay, this is a pointer to this one, but this is completely different from this one. The merge one, after you take after you copy the value from here, right? This is completely independent. These two will become independent. Okay, if you make any changes here, it will not reflect here because it is a physical copy. But whereas this is not a physical copy, it is a reference to this one. So whenever you make any changes here, that one will get reflected here. And if you remove any column here, okay, now I removed it in the reference. Let us go and see in merge one what is happening, but it will not happen here. Okay, in the reference, if you remove it something, it will not affect this one. Instead, if I remove any column here, because for him, this is the parent, okay? If you do anything here, it should reflect here, yes. But if I do anything here, it is not going to reflect there. I just do it one more time. Cost price, I removed it. If I go and check it here, the cost price still remains as because this is the parent, this is your child. So whatever you changes you make it, that one will get reflected here. But whatever you do it, it will not get reflected there. Okay. And Similarly, yeah, so whatever the changes that you make it here in the parent, that one will get reflected. The opposite is not possible. And but in this case, whatever you make changes here, it will not get reflected at all here, because these two data, it is something like two different queries altogether once you take the duplicate. Fine. But usually, so when do I do duplicate? When will I do duplicate? Supposing you don't want to disturb this one, and you want to copy this, you want to copy this data to another query, and you won't do everything, right? If everything is, let's say you want to add a new column based on the existing column, and then you wanted to yeah, and then if you think, right, you wanted to reflect this one here, you simply rename it to some name, and then you rename it as merge one. You make it primary, okay? And if I remove this one, let's see what happens. If I try to delete it, will I be able? Because it is being, the query cannot be deleted, because this query was referenced by another query. You cannot delete this one. Okay, whereas you can delete this one. If I delete this, it will go away. And you might be asking this, and when will I duplicate? Why should I copy and duplicate? Is it really required? What kind of scenario do I need to copy it? For example, you want to some kind of you want to create additional column. You want to create some conditional column, and then you want to test it out. Okay, and then once you test it, once you create a custom column, all the logic you implement it, and if you want to cross verify with this one, you can see it. Okay, and then what you do is you rename this with the parent name, and you rename this with some other name. Is it possible to rename this one? Yes, you can, merge, let's say 1 2. If I do it, what will happen? It is possible, right? We are able to rename it. But is it still pointing to that one? I just renamed it. I just drag this down here, and we have some option here, and view, and query dependencies. If I click on it, it will display all the queries, and you can zoom in. You can zoom out, some zoom in, zoom out with this thing. Just by slide this to the right side, you can zoom in. You can see the merge one and merge. This is the one, right? We are very particular about. The merge one is, even after renaming this, you can see that the merge one is still pointing to this one. So with this view, query dependencies option, you can see which queries are depending on which one. So we can see that the merge 12, it is depending on this one, sales fact, right? We have merged sales fact, and then the 12 and merge 2, merge 12 is merged, this one, and team product got merged with the merge 2. Okay, so here we have used sales fact, and for this, the source file is sales.xls. This is another way of checking, which file that I used it in my report file, right? So what is the file name and folder name? You can see it here. But also you can see the dependency. Even in merge 2 and merge 12, we have used sales fact. But in this case, I just maximize it a bit. Yeah, sales fact, automatically, since we have duplicated the merge 12, right? So it is, even still this one is pointing to this one. So these three queries are depending on sales fact. Okay, there is a dependency here. And dim product, we have used this. Look here, sales fact and dim product have a dependency here. So this is another way of checking, what tables we have used it. But still, if you want to see the join, the type of the join, you need to go here. Click on this wheel, You can see the type of the join there itself. You can see it there only. But if you want to see the dependency, what queries that I've used it, you can see it here. Instead of coming here, you can go and check it. But so in this case, you can get a holistic view, right? So this table, this query will, this query is used in, or this table is used in which all queries. Okay, so look at dim product and sales for a fact is used in these two things. And we have duplicated, since we do still, this is the one is using this one. And merge duplicate, you have copied this one from this one. Since you have copied the query duplicate from this one, there is no dependency here. It's just a physical copy of this one, that's all. But whereas the reference you just created as a reference, it is depending on this one. Okay, you cannot delete the merged well unless you delete this one. If you delete this one, you can delete this one, but you can rename it, but it will automatically, right, points to the renamed parent query. This is the thing you need to, because in the real time scenario you will be working on multiple files. You should be knowing which files that are used in which query. This one give you a holistic idea instead of going and checking each and every query, right? Better you can go and check it. Ideally, if they could have displayed the type of the join, it would have been helpful, right? Probably we can suggest to Microsoft. So these two tables, we have used it here. But what is a, inner join or left join, right join, right? We can suggest that way. Fine. Now we understood the query dependencies. Next, we will continue with adding a new column. Okay, we will create a custom column. How to create a custom column, and how to create the conditional column. How to create the column from examples. There are three icons are available to create a custom column, and other icon which is available to create a conditional column, and so on. So now we'll start with explore what is conditional column. It's very simple. I just go to the sales fact table here. These are the columns that are already available in your data set. Okay, now cost price. Okay, you want to compute the cost of goods sold. Okay, and then the sales amount is already available. Look here, the list price into quantity. So 50 into 2, it gives you 100. Now you need to, the 40 into 2, you need to do it. The cost price into quantity. This is the one will give you the cost of goods sold. So once you attain the cost of goods sold, you can subtract the cost of goods sold from your sales amount, roughly, okay. And with that, you can get the profit. And that one we will try it out. So for that, I'll just go to the add column here. I just click on the custom column. What I do is here, I just write the formula here. Instead of writing typing the column name, you just click on the cost price. Cost price into star is into and multiplied by the quantity. That's it. We are all set. So this I call this as a cost of goods sold. And then I click on it. A new column will get created for this business logic or for this formula. Look here, the cost price is 40 and the quantity is 2. 2 into 40, 80. The next step is I just go and create another column. Here, I just want to see the profit. Now, if you see, the COGS is available here. And here, sales amount minus cost of goods sold. Since already you have some profit, right? You can ignore this. This is renamed as profit one. Even though I have specified profit, since already a column with this name is existing, it rename it with one dot one. This is your profit, okay. And likewise, right, if you want to compute the net margin percentage or net profit, so you need to use that formula, and you can create a separate column for that. This is how you can create a new column based on the existing column. Okay, these are called your derived column. So this column we derived from the existing two columns by subtracting the cost of goods sold. No, not this one. Okay, here added a customer, right? Cost price into quantity. That is what your cost of goods. So this is the logic we used it to create this column, and then we have computed the profit. So do we really need two columns? Do we really need two columns? Can't we, can't we have a single column instead of having two different columns? That is also possible. Cross price into quantity, sales amount minus cost price into quantity, you will get profit. But later point, if somebody wants to refer, right, for how did we get this profit? If somebody wants to ask, cross verify that, obviously you need to have two columns. This is the one. I need to select this one. So profit one. Okay, you can have only one column. In a single column itself, you can implement this logic. But if you implement this, you will not be knowing what is the cost of goods sold. Okay, but you will get to know the profit. And if you want to cross verify it, right, this is you need to have two columns. In this case, you need to have two columns. But try to avoid creating many columns. Only if it is required, you need to create it. In this case, it really makes sense. Then you need to use it. This is what the custom column is all about. And the next one is the conditional column. We have something called conditional column. I just go to the add column and custom column you learned and conditional column. Conditional column. Okay, I want to do some kind of binning. Okay, and okay. Do I have here? Yeah, I have the price column here. Okay, fine. So what I do is I just go here and create a conditional column. So here I just say price bucket. Here, if I select something like, for example, if the if the list price is greater than, let's say, or listen, if the list price is less than or equal to, so what is the value here? The list price. Okay, I say if the list price is less than or equal to $50. Then I say you have option here. Look here, less than or equal to. You can specify the value upfront, or you can specify select a column. You can see, when you select this one, it will ask you the column with which column you want to compare it. The list price is less than cost price, something like that, you can select it. But in my case, I don't want to use the column directly. If the list price is less than or equal to 50, then the output is low. Okay. And if I wanted to add one more condition, if this condition is to list price is less than or equal to 50, then output is low. Okay, next one is add clause. Else if the list price is greater than or equal to, sorry, greater than 50. greater than 50, then you need to say medium. Here you can see the ellipse here. Three dots are called ellipse. When you click on this, you will see delete mover. If you make any mistake, right? If you think this logic is not correct, you delete it. Or if you think the second line should go up, click on the mover. Okay. If the price is list price is less than or equal to 50 low and greater than 50 and medium, and I'm going to add another class saying that if the list price is greater than this, 100, I say hi. I'm not getting any error here. Okay. And here you can see else part here. Else, if this one again, you can give one more condition here. Uh, okay. Else you return the price as it is, list price. But anyhow, I'm not going to do anything here. Let us check with this itself. I just click on OK. So I just want to create a bucket here, the price bucket. With that, we can understand which products are low priced one, which products are medium, and which one is high. But when I see here, I don't see high here. The low medium is there, but there are no syntax error, but logical error here. So high, low, medium, here it is there. So here it is, see, anything above 50 is medium. That's all, it's already meeting there. Again, if you put the list price is greater than 100, right? How will it take care? Here itself, it meets the condition, right? When it goes to each and every row or list price, it checks line by line. If the condition is this true, okay, this condition is not true. When it comes to prices more than 50, it'll put medium, and then it will not come here at all, right? Because this condition satisfy that, greater than. So in this case, what you will do? So here, actually, we don't need the double quote. We can just simply say here is greater than is fine. And somewhere we need to say, okay, let me just see here. We don't have any advanced option here. Add a class. Okay, null. By default, null. Okay, if you don't see anything here, put null here. Okay. And now, what can we do now? So if I put, it is creating additional condition. There is no point in creating additional condition. So here something wrong with the logic. Okay, what can we do? Can someone tell me? Let me see how many of you can answer it. Basically, I want to create three buckets: low, medium, high. And for each bucket, I want to, so let's say here, anything less than 50, less than or equal to 50, low. And anything greater than 50 and between some range. Okay, we'll see. Anything is less than. Okay, can we say okay, equals greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. Okay, here in this case, what we will do is Can I get it here? High, low, medium, right? So what I do is, here I don't need the double quote. I simply remove this home and remove this one. So low, high, medium. You can see that the price you can compare with this price. And what is the condition here we mentioned? Anything above 100, right? Anything is greater than 100, that is called your high. So what is the list price here? 180. Look here. See, for the fourth record, the price is, this price is 180, right? It is greater than 100. So this is how you can use it, right? So you might have found some kind of difficulty if the condition is this one, and like in the programming language we use it, right? If the condition is this one ampersand another condition, if these two conditions are right, so then you can define the range. But by smartly choosing the operator here, you can you can deal with this thing. Okay, you can implement this logic here. This is an example for your conditional column, and you have another example for custom column. For example, you have something called order date. Okay, and you want to extract only the year from this column. You can simply create a column here, custom column. Okay, here it is that problem, right? So the order date is not showing the, it is all on date, month, year, right? No, no, month, date, year. You can simply specify the using locales. This text data type currently, we will consider date and English United States. Only when you set it as a date data type, you can do some kind of date related manipulation. So what I do is I just go here and I am going to create another column, custom column. Here I just simply say year of year date dot year, and within the parenthesis I just say order date, and then I just close it. We don't see any error here, right? See, in this case, you wanted to extract only the year from this order date, and you do not know which function that you wanted to use it. Even I was not remembering it. I just typed year, okay, and I just checked what are the built-in functions that are available. Is in year to date, is leap year. If you want to check the leap year, you can use this one. Quarter of year, start of year, right? You want to return it, you can do it. But so by looking at this, I was able to understand this is meant for extracting the year. I just click on OK. Good. I was able to extract only the year from that column. And if you see the drop down, you should be able to see it is loading 20 to 2 year related data are there. This is another way of creating the custom column. Instead of doing this way, simply you just go to the home, not to the sorry, home ribbon, and here you have something called where is that? Let me just split groups. No, add column. Yeah, here add column is there. You just go to the add column, and I just select one more time the order date, and then here what I will do is I just go to the add column ribbon. In this add column, you have the date icon. Okay, when you click on this, you will see month. So you can use this feature to extract year from any date column. Okay, for that the date column should be in date data type. That's why I converted the order date from text to date data type. So the next one is, let's say I want to extract month. Just by point and click it, you can get the month. Okay, which month and which year this transaction happened. This is another way of this is so I did not go to the custom column. I did not click on it here. Simply I went to this ribbon and I just selected the order date column. This one got enabled. Simply extract the month. When I clicked on month, automatically from the order date column, it extracted the month and created a new column. This is implicitly you can create the custom column this way. Explicitly also you can create like this. And this sometimes you need to use the business logic. Okay, and so they'll ask you in the interview, what can you tell me, what is custom column, what is conditional column, what kind of logic that you used it in the conditional column, and why you created custom columns. Okay, so, but these columns are required because you wanted to find out month on month sales, and you want to create a report which should show month on month sales performance, year on year sales performance. You want to say, and again, price bucket wise, you want to do some kind of which price bucket we got more profitability, right? So obviously, in the high price bucket, your profit should be more, right? And for a specific week, week and a specific category wise, when you say it, you will get more insight. If you find something like, though the price is high, the margin is less, there could be situations like this, right? So you can do those kind of analytics by creating a price bucket. Okay, now you understood how to create the custom column and explicitly, implicitly, and the conditional column, how you can create it. The next one is I just go here and we have something else called column from example. This is an awesome feature. It is my favorite feature. One second, let me just, okay, I just use here itself. I just go to the add column and custom column from examples from selection. Here, what I do is I just go to my date column here again. Okay. I want to convert this year, month, date format. There are different ways I can do it, but with column from example, you see how simple it is to changing the format 2021 and 11-02. That's it. Press enter, and here it is something causing some problem. And here also I just go and say 2021 and 12 and 303. For date column it is not working fine. Okay, it should work. Okay, one second, I just selected this one, right? Let me do one thing. I just redo it. So I just selected order date, and then I just go to the add column and column from examples, column from selection. Okay. For this selected one, I just go and change the date format 1102. And here I have something called 2021. And here, yeah, now it's doing perfect job. Look here, if I wanted to change the date format, year, month, date, I just typed two values in the custom column from examples thing, right here. And what happened? It automatically generated this script. This is M script, M language script. You just think, right, how much time you needed to write this script, right? It'll take quite a time. Even for people, those are good with M language, it'll take time. So year, y, right? So date dot to text, and then hyphen to text order date m. So from order date, year, month, and date. You need to remember all these things. Okay, and then text dot combine all these things as a text and then put it here. Okay. But in this case, what I did, I just typed the format which I needed. Just I typed two values. Automatically look here 2021 1205. 2021 1205. Automatically convert the rest of the values in this order date column. It converted in the required format. You need to just teach like how you teach a kid, right? You need to teach this column. Okay, so hey, in this column what I say is, hey, we need to use this format for this column. I already selected already, and then I clicked on custom column from examples. This column initially it was blank. I just typed two sample values. With this it can learn, like in the case of machine learning, how it learns the pattern. It learned the pattern, and for this matching to this pattern, it converted the rest of the values. Got it? It is that much simple. It will, improve your productivity. You don't have to write a logic, or you don't have to remember all these functions. And then you need to combine everything. You don't have to have that pain. It makes your life, developer's life simple. Which one? The custom column from examples. I just click on OK. Let me use, okay, I just use another thing here. Sorry, I want to load another data set. I'll just go to the Excel workbook. I click on Excel book here. Let me see. Dim customer. This is not much helpful. I have used another called data set. 1 second. I'm just checking the data set. Okay, I will do one thing. Here already have sales fact, right? Okay. I'll just show you with this some example. See, unnecessarily, it is creating connection points. I used it temporarily. I should have disabled the enable load option. In the real-time scenario, you need to be a bit cautious. Even in the development environment, the volume of the data is very high. Whichever queries that you don't need it, you need to select. You need to deselect the enable load for the, those specific queries. And the next one is the sales. No, not this one. I did not load the data set. Okay. Okay, no way. I have to load that file. Another file. The same data set. Okay. Still it is not getting promoted. See, if you take a look at this one, country state column, you have the country name here, followed by the country name, you have the state. But if you see here, the values, it is quite weird. The country name is not a single word, and the state name is also not a single word. If I ask you to split this value, how will you do that? For example, I'm going to, I just duplicate this column. You can create a duplicate of this one because I don't want to disturb that one. And the next thing is you right click on it. What you have something like split column. Okay, you have something called split column. You can go by the delimiter. The default one is a space. Okay, and each occurrence of the delimiter. Split this values, the text values for each occurrence of the space delimiter. United followed by space is there and states is there. But if I use this option, if I click on OK, what will happen is United will get separated, states will get, so you will end up with four different columns. For example, if I click on OK, look here, the United States, New York, for this it created four different columns. Now, you know very well, okay, United is a single thing. If if you select these two columns, if you want to merge it, you can merge columns. But what happens is Australia and New will get merged. Okay, Australia and Queensland will get merged. Australia is the country name and Queensland is the state. If you can solve this problem by merging it. By solving one problem, you are landing up with another problem. Okay, and you have different options are also available, but still it's all it's a bit difficult. Okay, to do this one, it requires a lot of steps. I will undo this one. So what I do is I just simply select this one. I go and leverage column from examples. Which column you wanted to use the custom column. For that you need to tell. For that I selected this column. One second, duplicated column. Yeah, I just selected this column. For this column, I want to use the column from examples, not for all the columns, only for this specific column. So if you have multiple columns, and for that, if you want to do it, you can select all columns, okay? But that will be a bit confusing. And if I see here, yeah, country, state, this is the one I selected, right? This only I selected it while computing the distribution. Okay, fine. United States, New York. Here, if I say United, United States, separate only United States. It is not separating the United States alone. Okay. And next one is Australia. But still, Australia, Queensland. Look here, in this case, I just typed Australia and I just trained it. So if you have four words, right, followed by the country name, if your state name have three words in it, so you need to consider Australia. Only take the first one, okay? The country you separated. I'm trying to separate only country now. But Australia, if you see for Queensland, right? So what I do is Australia. And if you scroll down Australia News, so look here for this, it automatically replace it with the already learned pattern. If anything comes like this, you make it Australia. Look here, in this case, it made it Australia. Okay, and similarly, right? But it will require some time for you to type it. But you might be asking this question, sir. I have millions of records are there. In that case, if I do it, I need to end up typing a lot of things. And end of the day, I might forget, or due to oversight, I might train certain pattern. Again, it is in that case you need to write script. Okay, you need to write script. So look here, for this, it generate the script like this. Very complex one. Australia, okay. New Zealand, it was not able to find out. And United States, still it got confused here, though already we trained it. United States. And then here, New Zealand. New Zealand. Consider these two as a separate column. And here also it is new, sorry, here the spelling mistake. New Zealand. So here, New Zealand. New Zealand. So because it's all different patterns, obviously you need to spend time. United States, Virginia, it is fine. Afghanistan, it puts, it wrongly reads this one. Afghanistan, Afghanistan, Saudi Arabia. It seems I have to type till the end. Brazil. It took United States for everything. Brazil and China. Here I need to put China. So I'm not sure why it is putting United States. It is not learning it properly. Any problem with the same demo I gave it in the previous batch, and all. I did not paste this. So Australia, it is doing it, and other countries, it is not. Everything else, it puts United States. Simply, oh, the reason is United States, and here United States. And this is Australia. Look here, here I did not do anything. Automatically it is picking up. And here United States, here you need to say Kentucky is United States. Okay, here it is correct, United States, but here I need to say France. Because this is bit complex one. Australia, Queensland. Already did I try this? Yeah, Australia, Queensland. But yeah, it is, look here, it automatically detects it. So Tanzania. It may require little bit of effort. Tanzania. Once you train it, and United States, and China. I need to say China. Then United Kingdom. United Kingdom here. This is okay. This is something not correct. And Poland. Okay, United States. Now what I do is I just you cannot filter it here. United States, this is fine. Bangladesh, United States, and Australia, Western Australia. So this is different. So I just simply click OK here. And let us do a simple comparison. I just select here only the Australia thing. Okay, Australia. So for all the Australia, it is doing good job. But only thing is United States. Only one, it is causing problem. Okay, there will be some kind of variation. Otherwise, you need to split each and every column. You need to merge it. That is a painful thing. And then, for example, if I If I select only the United States, let's see at least if that, how many number of records for all the United States. My God, it will take a lot of time. At least randomly, let us check whether it is assigning it correctly. Yes, it is doing good job. Georgia, everything, right? For United States, doing fantastic job. Likewise, by for a complex text, right? Text data, if you wanted to uh, train some, you want to train, you want to create a new column. In that column, you enter some sample data. With that sample data, it will learn. It's kind of a artificial intelligence algorithm seems okay. It will learn the pattern. Based on the pattern in the existing thing, it will separate the value. Okay, otherwise you need to write a script, language to completely, split it. Okay, this one's if, and you need to write a lot of conditions there. If this one is this, you need to do it. Okay, but some state names, I could see that 4 words are there in some state name. This is a simple way of doing the data transformation with the help of column from examples. Okay, but only thing is, yes, we need to put little effort. Sometimes, yes, the effort will be little more in order to feed the sample data for the algorithm to understand. Okay, and then once it understands, it automatically does everything. Okay. Fantastic. For all the other thing, right? It is doing perfect job. United States. So likewise, you can do it. Otherwise, look here, North Carolina. 4 words are there. Okay, so it's difficult. With this, you can do it. Or else, what you can do is you can select this column. Whatever the script was generated, right? That script you can take it. You can modify it to change your thing. So hope you understood the feature offered by this one, the custom column from examples. Okay.